At school, I had a friend named Percy Phelps, a brilliant boy who later won a scholarship to Cambridge. Lord Holdhurst, the famous politician, was his maternal uncle. Afterwards, I hear that by this uncle's influence, he had got a good job at the Foreign Office. However, we lost touch, and I had forgotten all about him until I got his letter.
My dear Watson, I'm sure you remember your old friend, Phelps. I was holding a position of trust and honor in the Foreign Office, until a horrible misfortune came suddenly to destroy my career. I shall give you the details in person. I have just recovered from 9 weeks of brain fever, and am still very weak. Please do bring your friend Holmes down to see me at Woking. I lie in agony right now. Please do bring him as soon as possible.
I rushed at once to see Holmes at 221B Baker Street. Sherlock, we have a problem.
Yes, Watson? Okay, let's move right away. Hello, Mr. Holmes. I'm so glad you have come. I'm Joseph Harrison. Percy is to marry my sister Annie. They're at the room. Let's go. Hello, Mr. Holmes. I am so gladful you came up here. I'll come to the matter without delay. I was a happy and successful man, about to get married, when a sudden misfortune ruined my life. I worked at the Foreign Office. Through the influence of my uncle Lord Holdhurst, I rose rapidly to a responsible position.
Congrats, Percy. You are now promoted to the position of my assistant manager.
It's an honor, Lord Holdhurst.
Now I have an important task for you. This is the original copy of a top-secret treaty between England and Italy. The French or the Russian embassy would pay fabulous amounts to learn the contents of these papers. I want you to copy this and give both the original and the copy to me personally tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir, I will. I began the task right away. Were you alone during this conversation? Absolutely. How long was the room? About 30 feet. Thank you. Please proceed. The treaty was of great strategic importance. I was anxious to finish copying it as I knew Joseph Harrison, my would-be brother-in-law, was in town. I wanted to meet him before he was leaving for Woking by the 11 o'clock train. I stayed there alone at my desk until 9 p.m. It was a long document, written in French and has 26 separate articles. I felt sleepy, so I decided to have a cup of coffee. I ringed up for Tanji, the commissioner, and asked him coffee. An hour passed. Tanji had still not returned, so I went down to find why he was late. What's taking so long? Oh, sorry, sir. I just dozed off. Sir, isn't that your bell? If you were here, who could have rung that? A chill ran through my blood. I had left the precious treaty on the table, and someone was there in the room. I raced upstairs only to find the copy there. The original was gone. What did you do then? There was just one door to my office, so I rushed in that direction. Tanji and I ran downstairs, seeing no one on the way. It had been raining cats and dogs since 7 in the evening. As we left the office, I collapsed. Tanji took me to the hospital. I was so much stressed that I developed brain fever later that week. What was the time when you went downstairs for coffee? It was about 9:30. Was there any evidence of the robber left in your room? Like a cigar end, footprints, tissue, etc.? No, there was nothing. How is it then that Tanji did not leave any shoe mark when he came up at 9 for your order? You had told that it was raining from 7. The commissioners always remove their footwear before entering the office. Okay. Who else know about this theft? Just me, Lord Holdhurst, Inspector Forbes, Mr. Joseph Harrison, and Annie. I am pretty sure no one else knows about it, as it is a top-secret mission, and it would also harm the reputation of Lord Holdhurst. What about Tanji? I had not revealed to him about the treaty. All he knows that there has been a theft. He doesn't know anything about the treaty. This is as weird as it can get. Even if it was a robber, why did he ring the bell? That's strange. Anyways, I will check on this issue, Mr. Phelps. Meanwhile, you can rest. Come on, Watson.
Me and Sherlock left Phelps and headed to a hotel nearby to stay for the rest of the night. Did you get any clues, Sherlock?
From what Mr. Phelps has told me, my three prime suspects are Tangi, Mr. Joseph Harrison, or Rami.
But Tangi was there with Percy when the bell was rung. It couldn't have been him.
Yes, but Percy had told that Tangi took so long to bring him his coffee. It could have been a way to get him out of the room. He could have arranged someone else to pick it from there.
Yes, true, but is that your final deduction?
Absolutely not. I would like to meet Lord Holdhurst tomorrow. I have a person in mind. Let's see if he is the real man.
It was Percy. He wanted us to meet him immediately.
Mr. Holmes, this issue is getting heated. I guess this is something more than a robbery. What happened, Mr. Phelps? Yesterday night, someone tried to kill me. How? Mr. Phelps, please tell me. Yesterday night, it was about 9 p.m.
Percy, why do you look so tensed? Get some sleep.
Nothing, Annie. I was just thinking about the treaty. I really do hope Holmes solves this case soon.
Don't worry, dear. Everything will be fine. Have some sleep.
She went out of the room, and I made myself comfortable to sleep. That's when it happened. Someone had broken into the room, but I screamed so loud that he got frightened and ran away.
What happened? Why did you scream?
Someone broke the glass and came here to kill me. Are you sure he was there to kill you? It could have been some robber, right? He had a knife with him, and also he didn't carry any big bag to carry something valuable. I suspect he had come there to kill me. But why? I don't know. Okay, this is what we will do. You go with Watson back to London and stay there. Meanwhile, I will go to Lord Holdhurst to get any further information possible. Sounds good to me. I will just inform Joseph and Danny and we'll be right back. Watson, take him to London and make him relaxed. He is in so much pressure. First the treaty, now this murder attempt. Talk about the old days and cheer him up. I will catch you up at London tomorrow morning.
Do you have a plan in mind?
Hopefully. Okay, I am ready to go to London with Watson. So John, you turned out to be a doctor?
Yes. Somehow. Do you remember? We had pasted slap me on Jimmy's back.
Oh yes, and people were slapping him back and forth.
Meanwhile, back at Woking. Hello, Mr. Holmes. I have heard a lot about you. What brings you here?
Honorable Lord Holdhurst, I have come to talk about the Naval Treaty.
What do you want to know?
Why did you choose Mr. Phelps for this hugely responsible task?
Percy is my sister's son. He had been struggling a lot lately, so I had given him a reputed job at the Foreign Office 10 months ago. He had wanted to do something huge. I had known that. So when the government wanted the Naval Treaty to be copied, I entrusted Percy with it. But
I am sorry for your loss. Have you told anyone unofficially about the theft?
no, I haven't. By the way, did you have in progress? Will you find it?
Yes, there's progress. Hopefully, we will get hold of the treaty. Thank you for your time, Lord Holdhurst. I bid you farewell.
At London, I and Percy talked about our old days, had a lot of fun chat till night. Sherlock hadn't returned yet. He had told he would go to Lord Holdhurst, but we didn't know where he went after that. The next morning... Sherlock, you are back. What happened? Did you find anything?
Yes, Watson. I found the treaty. But how? Where did you find it? And who stole it? It was your brother-in-law, Joseph Harrison.
Are you sure, Sherlock?
Yes. Mr. Harrison is under arrest at Woking. We will leave right now. Mr. Phelps, Watson, come on. Let's go. Why? Why did Joseph do this to me? He knew how much I was suffering. We don't know what takes a man to become good or evil.
Sherlock, tell us how you caught him. How did you do it?
After I left Lord Holdhurst, I returned back to Mr. Phelps' house at Woking. I stood behind a tree looking at Mr. Phelps' room. I could see his window. As I kept watching, I saw Mr. Harrison coming out of the room with the precious stolen treaty. Mr. Sherlock Holmes, what are you doing here? Oh, nothing, Mr. Joseph Harrison. Just came to inform you that I caught the thief. And who is that? It's you, Harrison. There is no escape. No, you must be mistaken. I just saw you come out with the treaty. Why? It's still there in your pocket. It's over, Harrison. It was a good play, but not the best. Now, hands up.
But how did you know he was planning to make the robbery that night? And why did he hide the treaty in Percy's room?
The murder attempt, Watson. You still don't get it. Harrison was also the one who broke into Phelps' room. Now I understand. Before the treaty was stolen, Joseph used to occupy that room. After I was discharged, I was immediately shifted to Joseph's old room. He didn't get enough time to move the treaty from there, I guess, because I had never moved out of that room until yesterday. Yes, well said, Mr. Phelps. That's what happened. Also, he tried to break into your room because he was afraid that I might solve the case soon. When you told me that the person ran when you screamed, I knew that it must be a person well known to you. You shouldn't recognize him. That was important. That is why he didn't stay there to take the treaty. Thankfully, he didn't come to murder you, Percy. So now where are we going? Mr. Harrison is with Inspector Forbes. We are going to meet them. In the meantime, Watson, you must collect the stolen treaty from Inspector Timms and must deliver it to Lord Holdhurst. Be careful.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Holmes. So nice to see you. I see you have brought Mr. Phelps along with you. That's great. We are just about to interrogate Harrison.
Tell me, Harrison, why and how did you steal the treaty? I considered you as my own brother and you cheated me. No, Percy, it's not like that. I didn't mean to harm you. As you know, exactly 9 months ago, I was at the verge of being employed. The company was suffering a lot. It would have gone bankrupt. I needed that job desperately, so I needed some money immediately. Mr. Harrison, I am sorry to tell you, this company has been suffering a lot. We have been dismissing employees to sustain the company. We are in need of urgent money. If not, then today or tomorrow, I or you might be fired. We have to do something. Oh no! That night I came to meet you at your office for your help. But you told you had some important work and that you would catch me before the 11 o'clock train. So I waited, but you still didn't show up. So I took a cab to the Foreign Office. When I reached there, the door was wide open to your cabin. So I walked in. Where's Percy? I did not find you. So I thought I would ring up the commissioner to ask where you went. That's when I saw the treaty lying on the table. I knew it was something valuable, so I took it and ran away from there. I had no intention to bring you trouble, but the stress of the day just made me do it.
But you didn't try to remove it from my room, did you?
No. Soon after that, the company started to be profitable. I regained my old position, and there was no further need for money. I wanted to return the treaty, but I was scared that I might get caught. And you did. So, Mr. Phelps, I guess my job is done. The thief has been caught and the treaty has been retrieved. So I can take my leave?
Yes, certainly, Mr. Holmes. You don't know how much relief I am right now. Thanks for your time. It means the world to me. And that's another feather to Sherlock's cap. The Naval Treaty was returned to Lord Holdhurst and Percy regained his position as his assistant manager. Harrison was subjected 1 year of imprisonment and his sister, and he married Percy soon after that. All has ended well. But Sherlock's adventures never end. Dr. John Watson.